Hello and welcome to the evening news for today, Saturday, May 10, 2014. I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Guyana fully prepared for CXC e-marking. Applications invited for senior council posts. Police promise thorough probe into shooting of teen. And AG says $1.2 billion payment to Surinamese company was avoidable. Now for the news in detail. Two alleged bandits were on Friday evening apprehended by residents of Phoenix Park after they attempted to rob a young man in the area. Police in a statement stated that at about 19 hours 50 on Friday evening, Garvey Harry was confronted by three men while he was walking along the Phoenix Park West Bank Demerara Access Road. According to information received, the three men cornered the young man and demanded that he handed over his valuable items. Instead, he managed to run some distance and raised an alarm. Persons in the neighborhood responded and managed to catch two of the men. The third suspect managed to escape. The two men have been handed over to the police as investigations continue. The Caribbean Examination Council CXC Pro Registrar Glenroy Cumberbatch said e-marking will yield greater efficiency in marking of scripts while reducing the cost incurred from the exercise. CXC has taken a decision to commence the marking of examination papers online from this year. Michael Young reports.
Speaking from CXC headquarters in Barbados, CXC Pro Registrar Glenroy Cumberbatch, during a telephone interview with this newscast, said extensive studies were conducted before the e-marking solution was selected. Last year, integrated science and physics were marked via e-marking as part of a pilot initiative. Due to the success rate recorded, CXC will roll out the live marking for the May-June sitting of the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate Examination. Cumberbatch explained that when face-to-face marking was compared with e-marking during the experiment, there was high correlation. He said when the examination papers were marked electronically, the results was almost identical to the ones done during the traditional marking system. Though CXC markers have the option of marking the examination from the comfort of their home or in a designated area allotted by their respective education ministry, Cumberbatch said the same marking structure will be used. As customary, markers will be placed within regions and led by table leaders. Examiners will be managed in real time, he added. But he said markers' ability to mark from their homes depends on the availability of bandwidth and the level of internet penetration in their country. For the Evening News, Michael Young reporting.
The Chancellor of the Judiciary, Carl Singh, by way of an advertisement today, invited lawyers who wish to become senior counsels to apply. The details in this report.
After almost 48 years without the appointment of lawyers to the position of senior counsel, the Office of the Chancellor of the Judiciary is inviting attorneys at law desirous of being elevated to the senior counsel post to apply. The invitation will be viewed with great interest as the elevation of high regard, as the status is usually referred, has been the source of controversy and speculation for decades, particularly over the manner in which selections are made and their timing. It is unclear, for instance, why there has been such a long interval in the consideration of new candidates. The last bestowal would have been in 1996, when former Speaker of the National Assembly Ralph Ramkaran, Richard Fields, former Attorney General Charles Ramson, Acting Chief Justice Ian Chang, Moen MacDoom, and the late Samuel Broderson were declared senior counsels. They must have at least 15 years of active practice at the bar, expert up-to-date legal knowledge with a record of accurate and relevant application of such knowledge, a record of written and oral advocacy, among other pertinent prerequisites to be bestowed the senior counsel status. The notice noted that attorneys at law who previously made applications need not reapply. The notice did not provide any information on how the selections will be made. For the Evening News, Michael Young reporting.
Crime Chief Leslie James says the Guyana Police Force will not rush to complete its investigation into the shooting of a teenager to please the public, but will work tirelessly to ensure that a thorough probe is executed. He adopted this position on Friday while speaking with the Guyana Times. James maintained that a thorough investigation into the circumstances which led to 15-year-old Alex Griffith being shot in the mouth would avoid a failed prosecution of the matter, as all bases would be covered. The crime chief opined that the incident is sensitive and warrants a lot of time if justice is to be served at the end of the day. He was adamant that many times cases are thrown out of the court because of a rush to complete investigations to please the public. He also pointed to other problems that developed because there is a lack of sufficient evidence to cause a conviction, as he pressed for the public to understand the importance of a professional and detailed investigation to be conducted. Chairman of the People's National Congress Reform, Basil Williams, says the Commission of Inquiry into the death of Walter Rodney has so far done nothing but defile the esteemed name of the PNCR. Details from Gabriela Patram.
The People's National Congress (PNC), the political party fingered in the 1980 assassination of Dr. Walter Rodney on Friday, said it is prepared to do all that it possibly can to protect its good name from all attempts by the ruling government to implicate the party in the killing. People's National Congress Reform PNCR legal representative at the COI, Basil Williams, told reporters at the party's weekly press briefing that the government is using the Commission of Inquiry to stain the party's name. According to Williams, the commission headed by Barbados Queen Counsel Sir Richard Chettleham is headed down the wrong road. Expressing similar sentiments was APNU leader David Granger, who said the COI is set to miss the truth behind Rodney's assassination and that the PPP has no interest in finding the truth. He said government over the last 20 years has made some insincere gestures to Dr. Rodney. These include a posthumous Order of Excellence OE, establishing the Walter Rodney Chair of History at the University of Guyana, and designating the National Archives as the Walter Rodney Archives. The PPP recently made calls for Granger to testify in the COI. For the Evening News, I'm Gabriela Patram.
This is the Evening News. Stay tuned. More news ahead. Welcome back. This is the Evening News on TVG. Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlall today said that the recent ruling by the Caribbean Court of Justice could have been avoided if the opposition parties had approved the Customs Amendment Bill 2013. Let's find out more in this report.
Attorney General Anil Nandlall says the disaster that has resulted in Guyana having to pay $1.2 billion to the Surnamis company could have been avoided. Nandlall says that government is bound by the ruling of the Caribbean Court of Justice after losing the case brought against it by Rhodesia Beverages. Nandlall pointed out that had the opposition parties not voted against the legislation, then the government would not have had to make the payment. He pointed out that when the case was called in 2013, he successfully filed a motion in the CCJ to suspend the proceedings for a few months to pass the amended bill. The combined opposition parties, APNU and AFC, had last year used their one-seat majority to block government's amendments to the Customs Act. This was subsequent to the administration's refusal to postpone the consideration of the Customs Bill 2013 in order to conclude promised consultations with the private sector. The bill, which was read for the first time on January 10, 2013, had sought to lower the rate of the environmental tax charged on beverage containers. Had the amendment been passed, it would have removed cardboard boxes from the list of taxable items under the Act. For the Evening News, Michael Young reporting.
Machinery Corporation of Guyana Limited, MACORP, on Thursday launched its new line of Caterpillar excavators, the D2 series. This new machine will see users being able to have more efficient operation while using less fuel. Details from Gabriela Patram.
Bring the machine set! Here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The all-new D2 series from Caterpillar, featuring a mechanically controlled engine designed to cope with Guyana's toughest conditions. Lower fuel consumption and less maintenance. The highest productivity of the market. Robust design, which is built to last. This is the machine you asked for. This is the all-new D2 series from Caterpillar, and it's finally here in Guyana to fulfill all the needs from our customers. Let's give them a big round of applause to the all-new D2 series from Caterpillar.
was Product Support Manager Guillermo Escagaro launching MacCorp's new line of excavators in Guyana, the D2 series. The launch took place yesterday at the company's head office at Providence on the east bank of Demerara. There was also a demonstration of what the machines are capable of doing, recognizing the need for more dependable machines that can produce more with less drilling operations. The company introduced these new D2 series. CEO of MacCorp, Jorge Medina, touted the equipment as reliable and highly productive, built to lower operating costs to reduce fuel consumption and simplified routine maintenance.
Comes to my office asking for solution for their fuel problems. I explained them the problem is not the machine, but the problem is the fuel that you are having in the job sites. To bring fuel for that remote areas is a real challenge. And at that time, to bring a solution was not possible because we are bringing the latest technology available worldwide. That is our characteristic, to bring the latest technology. But we didn't stop there. Our challenge is to bring solutions for our customers.
The launch also saw in attendance Prime Minister Sam Hines and Minister of Public Works Robeson Ben. MacCorp, the only authorized dealer for Caterpillar in Guyana, was launched 20 years ago and has since been providing world-class support and services to cater to its customers. For the evening news, I'm Gabriela Patram.
Meanwhile, Sol Guyana Inc. on Thursday evening launched 2 new Shell Helix high-mileage motor vehicle lubricants at the Georgetown Club with the promise of excellent engine protection, reduced wear and tear, and extended engine life for drivers of high-mileage vehicles. General Manager of the company, Orlando Boxhill, said as part of its continuing commitment to provide value to consumers, Shell Lubricants has introduced the 2 new premium lubricants to the market, Shell HX7 and HX5, each of which has been specially formulated to deliver a specific range of benefits to prolong the life of the engines of vehicles and to slow down the aging process for high-mileage vehicles. It was in this context that he noted that Shell Helix high-mileage engine oils meet the needs of high-usage vehicles that had more than 100,000 kilometers of life, since these products were specially formulated with special additive package to help recondition worn engine seals and reduce oil leakage and consumption. Trinidad Cement Limited has announced that it has embarked on the North American phase of a roadshow which is aimed at securing funds to aid in debt management. Details in this report.
TCL Company announced its intention to issue senior secured first lien notes, bonds in a combined principal amount not exceeding the equivalent of US $325 million. The move is aimed at securing funds for the repayment of existing debt, the improvement of working capital, and ultimately the enhancement of value for its shareholders and stakeholders. According to a release, the bonds are to be issued in a Trinidad and Tobago dollar-denominated tranche to potential investors in Trinidad and Tobago on a private placement basis, and in a US dollar-denominated tranche which will be distributed in the US and Canada on a private placement basis. The company expects to issue US $250 million to North American investors and US $75 million to Trinidad and Tobago investors. However, this distribution may shift depending on the demand in both markets, as the issue is being offered in both jurisdictions and can be traded across borders. Some US $295 million from the proceeds of the offering will be utilized by TCL to repay all of its existing debt. According to TCL Group CEO Dr. Roland Bertrand, the roadshow is being done in New York, Boston, Toronto, LA, and Cincinnati in order to interact with as a wide cross-section as possible of refined investors. For the evening news, Michael Young reporting.
Star Computers on Friday morning launched its Samsung Smart School, an initiative to revolutionize classroom training in Guyana's education system. More from Bisham Mohammed.
The significant benefit of the initiative, bolstered by digital technology, is the ability to provide a customized and adaptive learning experience for students. Not only will teachers be able to increasingly differentiate instructions, students will have more power over the pace and style of their own education. The initiative is launched with the hope of creating a new learning environment with the highest quality education, and more so, create an enhanced educational setting for both students and teachers. At the launch at the STARS Compute Headquarters, Brickdam, Georgetown, Marco Osea, head of Enterprise Division of Samsung, explained the new initiative and how it is expected to work in Guyana.
We create programs for the curriculum here in Guyana so that they can become masters and champions within the Samsung Smart School to train other teachers to also do the same. Okay? And this is not a one-time project. This isn't a project you launch and you forget about. This is an ongoing initiative that through STARS collaboration, we will make Star Computer a training facility for Samsung Smart School, where the teachers from all over the country can come here and share best practices and continue to enhance the manner in which they're delivering education in today's 21st century challenges. This isn't just hardware and software. This is an integrated project that has to have continuity. And in order to be successful, we all want it to be successful, it requires that the teachers are engaged. And the teachers will be only engaged if they find themselves with the resources locally to continue on and moving forward.
Manager of Regional Solution, Arciano Ramos, explained and demonstrated how the system works, and more so highlighted what products can be used.
One of the functions that are very attractive in our solutions and that makes our solution more manageable is the screen monitoring. All the teachers can be able to see what are the students are doing in the class, can control their tablets with Wi-Fi connectivity, and in this connectivity it's also available to use our lesson toolbar. Our lesson toolbar this function is very advanced because when the teacher controls all the devices, is able to pay attention to all the students, and the user, that is the teacher in this case, is allowed to control all the contents and call the attention of the students during the class.
Instead of combing through piles of paper, teachers can handle class management functions on their mobile devices with Samsung's easy-to-use management tool. The pilot project will be launched shortly and can take up to 100 days to get into operation. All installations will be done by STARS Computer and powered by Samsung tablets, smartphones and phablets. The Samsung team has also met His Excellency President Ramatar, who also endorsed the initiative. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
Mothers from across the city were last evening treated to a cocktail reception by Cosmetics Beauty World, a Brazilian-based company here in Guyana. Let's find out more in this report.
Cosmetics Beauty World, located on South Road, which specializes in Brazilian hair products, last evening held an appreciation cocktail from mothers from across the city. Women from different backgrounds and ethnicities gathered at a store and bonded over Brazilian food and drinks. Owner and manager for Cosmetic Beauty, Meisa De Silva, stated that business has been great and she decided to give back to customers.
The idea for the Mother's Day cocktail is that to bring close all the mothers, right? I'd like to make all the moms comfortable, right? And beautiful, all, because moms means beautiful. So I'd like to all Guyanese mothers, right? Brazilians, Spanish, all over, right? The mothers beautiful, pretty and happy.
Meanwhile, the Evening News spoke to some mothers that were present at the cocktail to find out what being a mother means to them.
Mother's Day for me, it's every day. Mother's Day for me is love, it's patient, it's kind, and is, I think, mother's love, it's after God's love. So I hope that more people could appreciate Mother's Day as every day.
Mother's Day means love, right? Mother's Day love, because whose mama knows is the love is something so special. So Mother's Day for me means love.
I'm not entirely sure because I have only one daughter and I'm a widow, and we're very special to each other. And she's a very loving, very nice child. I've been very fortunate. But of course, on that day, she makes a special effort to make me feel very, very special and great. But I think for all moms, it's important to feel appreciated. I believe even though you may not have children, women are still very nurturing. And maybe our husbands have been our biggest babies. I think our role has always been one of nurturing. And we're mothering other people's children too. We're mothering people we know, mothering younger acquaintances and friends. I think our role altogether is one of nurturing, and I think it's just one day set aside especially to appreciate us.
The second Sunday in May is being celebrated as Mother's Day. The origin of Mother's Day go back to the era of ancient Greek and Romans. For the evening news, I'm Gabriela Patram.
Meanwhile, Quartz Guyana Inc. today presented mothers with a pre-Mother's Day experience, while it also made a donation to the Carnegie School of Home Economics. Details from Gabriela Patram.
The Main Street store was transformed to facilitate cooking, sampling, and beauty demonstrations by professionals from the Carnegie School of Home Economics. However, the main attraction was the celebration of mothers who came into the store to look around, or those that were chosen to be honored as the Quartz Mother of the Year. Quartz launched its Mother's Day essay competition, which saw children from the ages of 8 to 13 writing what makes their mother special for them from across the country. The 3 lucky winners include Felicia Rupchan, Shane Richards, and Liz Anderson. Anderson was very emotional as Quartz also donated a wheelchair to her son Javert, who has cancer and was unable to go to school.
The prizes you will be receiving are: you receive a gift from Quartz, compliments of Quartz. You also get tickets to go to the mother and daughter pageant tonight, which for the entire family, which I must say is a very great pageant, and Quartz has sponsored that pageant also, the middle category. So tonight you get to go enjoy that. You also get a voucher for the family to go to Fun City at Princess Hotel. The mothers also get a $20,000 spa treatment at Healing Waters at Princess Hotel. You also get a book voucher to go get books at Austin's bookstores to the value of $10,000. This is to help the children with their ongoing education. And tomorrow, no one cooks tomorrow, as lunch is provided by Quartz, compliments of Quartz for the entire family. And of course, you get to be known as the Quartz Mother of the Year.
Meanwhile, the Carnegie School of Home Economics also received a donation from Quartz. The items include 2 microwaves, a food processor, and washing machine.
We've worked with the Carnegie School of Home Economics before, which is the authority of cooking and homemaking in Guyana. And Carnegie School does a great job with the students, teaching them great recipes. I've tasted some of the recipes. I must say they're fantastic. They work with Quartz and helping us to maximize our SDAs. That is the small appliances, showing everyone the great recipes and foods that you can make with our small appliances at Quartz. And this partnership is just the first of many we hope in the future that we'll have with Carnegie School of Home Economics.
I would just like to say thank you so much to Quartz. We welcome the partnership and the collaboration, and we hope that it will grow from strength to strength. This partnership has been going on for quite a while, and it is strengthened, and we are happy to be here to showcase how these appliances can be utilized.
Persons were treated to samples of food from the school, drinks from Banks DIH, biscuits from the Blue Band brand, while mothers got a manicure and pedicure for free, compliments of Quartz and Nayali Hair Salon. For the evening news, I'm Gabriela Patram.
This is the evening news. Now for some news from the region. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has reacted furiously to calls in the United States for punitive measures against his government for alleged rights abuses in response to 3 months of street protests. Some U.S. lawmakers are urging sanctions on Venezuelan officials or even wider measures against the economy, what President Barack Obama's government has said that may harm prospects for political reconciliation. Anti-government demonstrations since February have led to violence in which 42 people have died. Internationally, the U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama has said that mass kidnapping of Nigerian schoolgirls is part of a wider pattern of threats and intimidation facing girls around the world who pursue an education. She said she and her husband Barack Obama were outraged and heartbroken over the abduction of April 14 of more than 200 girls from their school. She was speaking instead of her husband in a weekly presidential address. The Islamist militant group Boko Haram has claimed the abductions. It is unusual for a U.S. First Lady to make outspoken foreign policy remarks, but Mrs. Obama has campaigned for the girls' release. Michelle Obama has often appeared alongside her husband during the weekly address, but this is the first time she has delivered the speech alone. This is Evening News. We now take a look at your bridge reports. The Damrar Harbour Bridge will be closed on Sunday, May 11 at 14 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours, and the Berbice River Bridge will be closed on Sunday, May 11 at 13 hours 55 for a period of 1.5 hours. And for those of you using the ferry service, the Puerto Rican Supanam ferries will be departing at 2 a.m. on Sunday, May 11, 2014. Both ferries are also slated to depart their respective locations at 14 hours on Sunday, May 11, 2014. Join us after the break for sport, sponsored by Marcorp. This is the Evening News.
This is the machine you asked for, and it's what we are delivering. Introducing the new CAT D2 series.
Improvements made with you in mind. A mechanically controlled engine designed to cope with Guyana's toughest conditions. Lower fuel consumption and less maintenance, which reduces your owning and operating costs. The highest productivity in the market. Robust design, which is built to last.
Marcorp, the only authorized Caterpillar dealer in Guyana, bringing integrated solutions for your success.
Let's build Guyana together.
Welcome back. Now for a look at sport, but first the headlines. Justice Roxanne George delivers stirring address at GOA Awards. Darren Sammy retires from Test cricket. Guyana Rifle Shooters retain Milex title and wins for Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings in IPL 2014. Now for the details. One of Guyana's leading legal minds last evening delivered a stirring address on sport as the Guyana Olympic Association hosted its annual awards ceremony at the Georgetown Club. The details in this report. Centering her speech on the upcoming Commonwealth Games theme, Opportunity Through Enterprise, Justice Roxanne George delivered a stirring address as the guest speaker, much to the appreciation of the invitees. She shared her thoughts on the necessity for a supportive environment for athletes so that opportunities can be created through the enterprise of sport.
While we seek to develop coaching abilities as regards the technical aspects of various sports, we know that there is much more to ensuring high-class performances from our athletes. In order for them to excel, they must operate in an environment that is conducive to excellent performance. I read another newspaper article recently about the need to improve the psychological mindset of one of our track and field athletes. And having interacted with sports administrators on the GOA Sports Administrators course over the years, I am aware that they are grappling with a number of social issues that affect our athletes.
Madame George also spoke on the importance of scholarships for athletes, citing a partnership with the University of Guyana could be created to enhance the overall well-being of the student athlete.
The next career fair at the university should see the presence of the Guyana Olympic Association to provide such information on the opportunities through the enterprise of sport. The GOA Facebook and website pages should include information on these and the myriad issues that can have an impact on and affect our athletes.
Meanwhile, President of the Guyana Olympic Association, K.A. Jumanyasin, highlighted the association's vested interest in working along with the government of Guyana to ensure the various sport disciplines are properly developed.
I really would like to see that, because at the end of the day, I think we are all working for the same objectives. And we need to work together with all associations and all other interested bodies and persons. So I have spoken to the minister early on about some other factors, and I said publicly that there will be a great degree of cooperation between the GOA and the Ministry of Culture and Sports and the government of Guyana.
Responding to the proposition, Sport Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said the government is prepared to partner with the GOA and highlighted that a number of projects are in the making. Meanwhile, receiving awards were Guyana Times TVG sport journalist Tristan Joseph, former national lifter and coach Winston Bentham, while historian Charwin Walker was presented with the IOC trophy under the theme Sport as a School of Life. Former table tennis player and administrator Kim Kisoon also received an award but was unavoidably absent, while several other persons were also recognized for their contributions to sport. Guyana retained the Milex Cup, the symbol of long-range shooting supremacy in the region, when they emerged victorious in a team match at the West Indies Full-Bore Shooting Championship in Jamaica. The greatest challenge to the Guyanese shooters proved to be the windy conditions, but the 8-man team shot a grand total of 676 points and 29 feebles to blow away their closest rival Jamaica by 30 points. The match was held at 900 and 1,000 yards. The Jamaicans ended on 646 points and 23 Vs, Trinidad and Tobago 610 with 7 Vs, Antigua and Barbuda 607 points and 15 Vs, and Barbados in the cellar position with 565 points with 14 Vs. Team captain Mahendra Prasad said the victory was a fantastic team effort from the shooters, coaches and support staff. Now for some cricket news. Darren Sammy has officially notified the West Indies Cricket Board of his move to retire from Test cricket. Sammy has also informed the board of his decision to continue to make himself available for selection for the other formats of the game. More in this report. Sammy, in his communication to the board, thanked the directors, the selectors and team management for the confidence shown in him as a player and captain, which he served as from October 2010 to May 2014. Sammy said that he will always cherish the memories of representing and captaining the West Indies in Test cricket. The West Indies Cricket Board thanks Sammy for his service to West Indies Test cricket, both as a player and captain, and looks forward to his continued involvement and contribution as an ODI player and T20 captain and player. Sammy played in 38 Test matches, captaining in 30 of those appearances. He remains the West Indies T20 captain. His resignation came on a day wicketkeeper Dinesh Ramdin was appointed full-time Test skipper by the WICB. Sammy's tenure as Test captain began in November 2010 when the West Indies drew a 3-match series against the hosts Sri Lanka. His best accomplishment as captain was when the West Indies won 6 consecutive matches in 2012-2013, which lifted the side to number 5 in the rankings. But an overall record of 8 wins to 12 losses, including a spell of 5 defeats in their last 6 matches, has hurt his cause. Sammy's 3-year stint was marred by debate over his reliability as a player. He usually occupies number 8 in the batting order and has hit only 1 Test century and all 5 50s in that position. But an average of 22.43 cites his lack of consistency, and his straightforward medium pace that fetched him 29 wickets in 10 matches prompted several critics to question his impact as an all-rounder. Finally, Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings recorded contrasting wins as the Pepsi IPL continued in Delhi. Dinesh Karthik made 39 and Kevin Peterson 35. In Delhi, Daredevils won 43 for 7 in a rain-affected game, which had to be decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method. Needing 43 to win from 5 overs, Sunrisers made 44 for 2 in 4.2 overs to hand Daredevils their 4th loss at home. In the other game, Ambati Rayudu stroked 59 and Lendl Simmons 38 on his IPL debut to lead Mumbai Indians to 157 for 6, with Ravichandran Ashwin picking up 3 for 30. Dwayne Smith then hit 57 and Mahendra Dhoni an unbeaten 22 to help Chennai to victory at 160 for 6 with 3 balls to spare. The Pepsi IPL will continue tomorrow with the Kings 11 Punjab playing Kolkata Knight Riders at 6 hours 30 and the Royal Challengers Bangalore against the Rajasthan Royals at 10 hours 30. And with that, we've come to the end of sport, which was sponsored by Marcorp. And that has brought us to the end of the evening news for today, Saturday, May 10, 2014. I'm Avinash Ramzan from all of us here. Thanks for watching.